Hi, I'm Amy and I'm a head lice removal expert. I've decided to start honest and free head lice advice from a pro because I want to be able to help people like you who are dealing with head lice. I worked in the field for almost 8 years. I had my own in-home head lice removal service, and that's what I did day in and day out for almost 8 years. Was I treated people for head lice. My kids had gone through it. We had dealt with it in our family when they were little, and through that process I realized a couple of things. First, I realized while I'm not crazy about head lice and crazy about bugs in general, I was able to be very level-headed, not get freaked out, deal with what we were dealing with, help my family get rid of it. The other thing that I realized was that there is a ton of misinformation out there. Some of it's from well-meaning people who are just misinformed and they're perpetuating information that isn't helpful. Others, it's actually more dishonest than that. They're misleading people because they want to sell products. And then there's a range all in between there, I made a decision when I was in business that my main goal after treating people, my main goal was to educate people so that I found that education helped people calm down. It helped people understand the situation and feel more in control. Because when you get head lice, it feels like everything's gone out of control. And my main goal after treating people, my main goal was to educate people and leave them feeling empowered after I left, and not like, oh my God, I hope this never happens again, because it was a complete nightmare. Of course, you don't want it to happen again, but I want people to feel like if it does happen, it's not the end of the world. They can deal with it. So that's what I saw. And I'm no longer working in the field. I am working, my art career, thankfully, is going really well, and I'm able to support myself and my kids through that. So I'm not working in the lice industry anymore, and I'm not running that business for myself anymore. And so I realized recently that, I've got all this information up in my head and I'm not using it anymore. And it's just sitting there, and I had really enjoyed working with families and teaching people, and I really prided myself on being upfront and open and honest with people in that way, and it felt really good. And so I figure, since I have all this information, and it drives me nuts to see all the misinformation out there and how people are misled and spend money on things that are completely unnecessary, I wanted to just put my information out there so that people can be informed and people can make decisions that are right for their family, that are based on facts and not just things that you hear and, what might be true, what might not be true, things that are based on real experience, my almost 8 years of experience as a professional treating thousands of heads. Like, I did this a ton. And so it's using that information to be able to help you. And then basically I'm just putting it out there, and I'm not trying to push anybody toward any products or any services or anything. I'm not selling anything. This is not a pitch. There's not something at the end where you're going to be expected to pay for something. There's not any of that. I just want to put that information out there. And part of the reason for that is I want to live in a world where we're generous, where we're helpful, where we're not scared that we have to hoard all of our information. And I'm not using the information. So there you go. That's what I'm doing. So hopefully you will follow along in these videos, get some education, make decisions that are right for your family. The best advice I can give in the very beginning, when you have head lice and you realize that you're dealing with this, take a breath. Get some really good, solid knowledge. Just spend a little bit of time. You don't have to spend a lot of time. You can attack the lice problem very, very soon, but just get set first and come up with a real game plan, not a game plan that's based on things that might work or whatever it is, or a game plan that's based on somebody else's profit margin. Come up with something that's right for you based on facts and information and experience. So that's what I'm going to help you do with these videos.